Hey everybody, Big Lyle here again with something exceptionally rare. This I have is 10 or 11 little tiny booklets or digests that were for the Western Canadian oil companies, mostly directed in northern Alberta, north of Edmonton, Alberta. It was published in Edmonton in the 1950s. So these are so rare that I can't find any anywhere online, or and some of them I can't find any information at all. And a lot of these oil companies no longer exist. So I found these at a secondhand shop in a plastic bag with other magazines like Liddell Comics and a lot of coverless comics. And when I worked in the oil industry, pardon me, the people that I showed this to were saying you have keepers because there was a lot that was printed at the time, but were not kept. They were read to death and then tossed out. So I'm glad that I have these. So I'm going to show you one of them. I'm going to show you one of them is called the Roughneck. And this one here was volume 3, number 8 from June of 1955. But this character here was known as Rupert Roughneck. His American counterpart, his name was Joe Roughneck. These began in and around 1952. And I'm sure that if they are still around, they're certainly not in a small format like this, because these measure 4.5 by 6.5. And they consist of events and people and just different pictures and little tiny cartoon quips. I tried to do research on some of the artists in here, and they leave initials. I did an extensive search, couldn't find anybody with the names of the initials of who did the cartoons. So I'm just going to give you a peek inside. These are all 64 pages, and they're black and white interiors. And they have a lot of advertising. And these were published monthly by a company called Commercial Publications Limited out of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And this is what the kind of stuff that they had in there. Little tiny cartoons like this. And stuff like that. I'll go through it. Like I said, a lot of these, and anybody that liked the good girl art, there's a lot of that in there in these little cartoons that maybe Steven might like, and Alan from the Comic Collector Geek. And if you guys know the artists for these, they went by the initials JLW. But I couldn't, and what I did find under JLW, this fellow was a painter. I mean, it wasn't related to this. Right. And I'm just scrolling through it. I'm not going to go through all 64. You know, don't monkey around. At least you can see my face a little bit better. I kind of had to reset the lighting up a little bit so I didn't get too much of a reflection in my glasses. And this one here says, Isn't that a little crude, Earl? Yep. And then they were looking into your future. I think the Roughneck magazine today is a magazine. It's not small like this anymore. And in this issue of Volume 3, Number 8, from June of 1955, they had a company in there called Midwest Kenworth Sales Limited from Edmonton. They had a Michelin tire ad and cartoon in here. So if anybody has any idea who the artist might be, send me a message in the comments and I'll do some research and we'll go from there, because these things are very, very rare. I mean, I've been collecting a long time and I've never seen any more like this. I wish I did, because I sent a couple of these to Joe from Black Box Silver and Bronze, and he was pretty happy with that. So the other Roughneck one that I have is Volume 3, Number 7, from May of 1955. This is the cover. No comment. And then the back of these. These are all 64 pages. And I'll just give you, like in every issue, obviously there's different cartoons, but for those bingo lovers. I mean, they're just very interesting for the times. 1955. Oh. And another one that's for a jet lube company. The artwork there. Isn't that cool? Just a minute now. Yeah. How white they are for 1955. And here's another one. Please, Mr. Redmond, not on an empty stomach. See that comment I just showed? There's initials there, JLW. I don't know who that is, but I'd certainly like to know. 2 jobs at once. Yeah. And let's see here. Right. So that's what they had in this kind of stuff. So, and the other one that I have that I sent to Joe was called Western Bowler, Volume 1, Number 1, from Edmonton, Alberta, and it was September 25th, 1961. I have like 6 copies of these. And this was all about bowling teams. They said there was like 30,000 people at the time that were bowling, and it had like congratulations and best wishes to the Western bowlers. And let's see here. Bonnie Doon bowling lanes in Edmonton. I looked this up when I got these here probably 10, 12 years ago. And this still existed up until I think the early 1990s, and then it closed. So if anybody has any more information on that, I'd appreciate it. And yeah, Edmonton's own bowling publication, serving 30,000 bowlers. I'm surprised to me there was that many bowlers. I don't think there was that much to do in Edmonton in 1961. And Plaza Bowling. So it was advertisements like that they had in here. It wasn't too many cartoon quips, but that's what they had. And I had a whole bunch of these little tiny ones that of the same issue. The other one, I'll show you these first, was called His and Hers. And this was volume 1, number 7 from December of 1955. And these were a lot like the Roughneck as well. And they had, again, advertisements and whatnot, little cartoons in there. And I don't think that would work so well today, but Christmas bonus. Poof. And Bob's Barbecue advertisements. And Capital Building Supply. When you have a phone number that's only 5 digits. Is it 5 digits? Yeah, 5 digits, 4 or 5 digits. You know that it was from 1955. Stop paying rent. Yeah. I thought I would show them because, they have a lot of stuff, and it makes for interesting reading or looking at these comic books at the time. This one here. You darling, you stole a mink. And then they had, this one here was called His and Hers. And then when this expired, they changed the title to On the Level. And the one that I have is volume 1, number 10 from March of 1956. And stuff like that at the back. The editorial page. So when I sent these to Joe from Black Box, Silver and Bronze, I sent him one called His and Hers and Hers. And there was a design, which I'm going to show in a little bit. And it had hers, and he was wondering if they had just one with his. And I haven't come across that, because if that exists, I'd like to get them. If you know somebody out there that collects these things or has a few in there, please let me know or forward me some more information. I'd appreciate that. That'd be great. Because the information online is sporadic at the best of times. Yeah, there's another one. It's a woman. Yeah. All right, for that one. And then what I mentioned earlier, they have this one called Hers. This is volume 1, number 1, from June of 1955. And you'll see in the cartoon, the lady's got one of these little digests in her hands, and it says, his. I don't have any his. I have hers and his and hers, but no his. And this is the back. And again, they have advertisements with cartoons. I told you, I got so much different kind of stuff that I just want to share with everybody. That is, it's pretty good. And this is the other one here. And I think this is how my wife feels sometimes. I'm joking, honey. Oh, boy. There's a mean streak. And then there's this one. Of hers. And then the other hers I have is, well, sorry, I got two of them. You know, the other one of his and hers that I have, volume 1, number 6, from November of 1955. And then what's on the back. So, and again, it's all different kinds of cartoons, that format. Oh, I know that feeling because that happened to me when I was just coming out on my own. Poof, the eggs were stuck to the ceiling. Yeah. And this one. I thought people would be interested in seeing all of this. And wow, model 395 of a Motorola car radio from 1955. Woo! State-of-the-art technology. And it says, we were rehearsing for the office party. I wonder how many excuses people have come up to when they come back from a bender. Order your Christmas cards early. The date, December 24 and a half. Oh, am I too late? I say you were SOL. A real family gift. A television set. Well, this was 1954. And where I grew up in northern Quebec, my uncle's first TV he bought that had the record player and the radio was from 1954. And the first black and white TV that my father bought was in 1961. It was a Philips. And that's it for that one. The other one was His and Hers, Volume 1, Number 5, from October of 1955. And the back one. Ooh. This poor bugger, he slipped on the banana peel. Well, I bring you flowers, and you don't even say thanks. There's a good one for these salespeople that come to the door, and they're greeted by your friendly neighborhood dog. And then this. Interesting for the times. I can't show you that. There's got kids on there, but how would you like to donate your tummy to medical science? And the other one, His and Hers, Volume 1, Number 4, from September of 1955. I've got two of them. Why not buy a good used car at Waterloo Motors? Yeesh. I don't think he likes his birthday present. I don't smoke, but my wife would kill me if I did that. Been barbering long? It'd be the first and last time I'd go there. Calgary or Calcutta? I go holiday too. I hope you're enjoying all of this. Or am I boring you to death? You have to let me know in the comments. I heartily suggest that you switch to chewing tobacco. It may not come to this, but for the best in the TV, choose Motorola. Yep. It was easy. I bought a TP that had Rusco windows. You know, Rusco window advertisement. And yeah, I had two of those. And the last one is His and Hers, Volume 1, Number 2, from July of 1955. the back cover. Yeah. Beautiful, practical, and real cool. Set the table for 3. I think he's going to have a very bad evening. This is 3 o'clock in the morning. We have everything for the man. Something. To solve problem openings, good news, dear. I've ordered modern fold doors. Slam. My wife threatened to leave me if I spent one more day at the races. If we hurry, Fred, we can catch the double. Important announcement to all car owners. There's nothing wrong. I just want you to read that copy. I'll be right back. Excuse me. There was one here that I did show earlier, but there was one of the cartoons in here I wanted to show. It was Volume 1, Number 7 from December of 1955 of His and Hers. And this is typical at that time and even today, because I've seen it. My friends get this for Christmas and they weren't too impressed. And it said, "And a very Merry Christmas to you, dear." She gets the fine furs and he gets, for you guys back east that are getting a huge snowstorm and terrible cold weather. Anyway. Let's see here now. Yeah, the Michelin ad in there was pretty good. Not very often I come across that kind of stuff. I'm just going over my notes here. I didn't want to forget anything. So they have a book, like these books first came out in 1952. So from 1952 to 2002, they were celebrating their 50th anniversary. And there was an author, Alistair Thomas was his name. He came out with a hardcover book called, the characters' history was extensively chronicled in his book. It was called A Super Roughneck, 50 Years of Canadian Oil Patch History, featuring Rupert Roughneck. The book is very pricey. It's a first edition hardcover for $295, ridiculously expensive. But if anybody out there would be interested in buying it, I can give you the ISBN number, pardon me, which is 978 096 979 0938. You can look that up and go from there. Thank you very much for watching. I've been wanting to show these off for a long time. I mean, I haven't worked on the oil patch for the last 2.5 years, so these is all of the ones that I showed today. That's all that I've got, is 11 copies, or 17 copies with the 6 that were part of the Western Bowlers. So thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I know that the backdrop here is white, but I'm getting some construction done in my usual spot, but that should be done in the next couple of days. I want to rearrange some stuff and make it look cool. Thanks a lot for watching, and all the best to everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.